It's exciting times as I'm just 3 months away from my wedding. Everything is unfolding beautifully, and I find myself genuinely enjoying the whole process. There's a special thrill in selecting the colors, imagining the ambiance, and coordinating the day that I've been dreaming about for so long. It's amazing watching everything come together like pieces in a puzzle, fitting perfectly to paint a picture of what will be one of the most memorable days of my life. I've been fortunate enough to have a wonderful support network, especially among my bridesmaids. There are 5 of them, each unique and special, contributing their energy and love to make this event unforgettable. And honestly, their different heights, shapes, and sizes only add more flavor to our wedding party. Diversity is part of life, right? I cherish that uniqueness, and I want each of my bridesmaids to feel comfortable, confident, and cherished as they stand beside me on the big day. When it comes to planning such a big occasion, a sense of eagerness and a whirlwind of emotions are constantly in play. It can get overwhelming, but in a good way. Despite the flurry of activities and planning, the process itself has been quite enjoyable because of the involvement of those close to me, my family, friends, and especially my bridesmaids. They are there through constant calls, messages, and coffee dates, helping me tick things off our ever-growing to-do list. The venue is almost ready, and the fittings for the gowns are being organized. We even decided on the meal plan that suits everyone, considering dietary restrictions and preferences. With each day that passes, I can feel a sense of anticipation and joy bubbling to the surface, and it only deepens my excitement. My priority has always been about ensuring everyone feels at ease, fitting every piece smoothly into the ensemble of the wedding day. No stone is left unturned. I strive to make sure each moment is infused with thoughtfulness. Especially when it comes to attire, my ultimate goal is for my bridesmaids to adore what they're wearing and strut down the aisle with pride and happiness. After all, they are standing there because they mean a lot to me, and their comfort is non-negotiable. Ensuring the happiness of everyone involved is at the top of my agenda, so I take extra care in listening to their suggestions, ideas, and needs. I'm not just planning a wedding, I'm cherishing moments, creating memories, and ensuring everyone feels valued along the way. It's all about sharing the joy and making sure everyone feels part of this joyous journey. At the end of the day, as the vision of my wedding takes shape, I'm deeply appreciative of the people who are with me on this journey. It's heartwarming to see how everyone is putting their best foot forward to ensure everything turns out perfectly. Their presence and support have been incredible thus far, making this whole experience not just about me, but about us creating a beautiful memory together that will last a lifetime. With 3 months to go, I feel prepared and ready for whatever comes, knowing I have the love and support of those who matter most to me. As the plans for my wedding continue to unfold, there is one issue that seems to have continually cropped up, manifesting as a seed of tension amid the overall harmony, and it's all revolving around one of my bridesmaids, Samantha. Samantha has always been a dear friend. We've shared joys, sorrows, laughter, and countless memories. But now, as we try to align everyone's preferences and desires for the big day, our paths are strewn with challenges. Samantha, who happens to be a larger lady, landed us in a bit of a quandary with her particular request for the bridesmaid dresses. While sharing this joyous journey, everyone seemed to be on board with the idea of having a cohesive yet comfortable look for the big day. However, Samantha had something different in mind. When we had our dress day, she didn't voice her preferences directly to me, which felt a bit disappointing. It turned out she had been expressing her wish for a specific dress style to others. Samantha wanted a dress that was shorter and made of a different material than the ones the other girls were considering. To be frank, I was a bit taken aback because she chose to communicate this through other channels instead of coming directly to me, the bride, during the dress selection process. I fully understand that everyone has their own comfort levels when it comes to clothing choices, particularly at important events, but her avoidance of a straight conversation with me did irk me a bit. Putting aside my momentary frustration, I sought a solution that would accommodate not just Samantha, but all of my dear friends, ensuring that everyone felt fabulous on the day. With this in mind, I dove into countless retail avenues, eventually suggesting a website that caters to all sizes. I even provided a color scheme to follow, paving a creative path for each bridesmaid to find something uniquely flattering yet harmoniously coordinated. My ultimate aim remained constant. I wanted each one of them to step into the event radiating confidence and comfort, aligned with my vision of unity and joy. This mission of inclusivity seemed paramount. No one would feel out of place, and everyone would look and feel amazing. However, navigating through these bridal preparations with friends, each with their own needs and desires, continues to be a learning curve for me. Samantha's hesitance to open up and her indirect approach made things slightly challenging, but with open communication and sincere efforts, I intended to navigate through our differences. Deep down, I hoped that this minor hiccup would not become a fracture in our relationship. After all, through the ups and downs, the aim is not just to have the perfect wedding, but also to strengthen the bridges of friendship that have weathered many storms. The dresses, the flowers, and all the little details are undeniably important, but the bonds and the shared happiness are truly the heart of this celebration. As I continued planning, I kept reminding myself that while dreams of the perfect day fill my mind, the goal is grounded in love, togetherness, and creating a beautiful memory for everyone involved. Samantha and my other bridesmaids are on this journey with me for a reason, because they mean the world to me, and no dress tiff could ever really change that. In the background, as I worked through the concerns with the dresses, I remained hopeful and positive, determined not to let this small challenge cast a shadow over the radiant days ahead. As we moved forward, I kept my spirits high, focusing on bringing everyone together with love, ensuring all would indeed feel included in the magic of my wedding day with joy and appreciation. The next chapter of wedding preparation was something I had been looking forward to, planning the Bachelorette weekend. I wanted this to be a joyous time for all my friends and me, a little getaway before the whirlwind of the wedding set in. I found this charming cabin tucked away in a serene location, perfect for some relaxation and bonding time with my closest gals. Once I discovered this gem, I reached out excitedly to my bridesmaids, checking to see if the dates worked for everyone and making sure they were comfortable with contributing to the cost of this weekend escape. It seemed like such a great plan, a cozy cabin, good company, and a chance to create wonderful memories. Everyone replied with enthusiasm, thumbs up emojis, and exclamation marks filling our group chat, confirming they were all on board and willing to pitch in for the great getaway. With everyone on board, we set the dates and moved a few steps closer to making the plans a reality. But shortly after everything was set in place, Samantha came forward expressing her concerns about the cost. Up until that conversation, Samantha had not had to worry about any expenses. I was taking care of essentials for my bridesmaids, covering the cost for hair, makeup, and even their nails, a gesture from me to show them how much I appreciated them standing by my side on my big day. Also, her mother kindly offered to cover the expenses for her bridesmaid dress. Samantha's financial situation was a bit of a challenge, but fortunately, we found a solution. The rest of the bridesmaids, showing their collective kindness and determination to have everyone included, agreed to pitch in and cover Samantha's share of the Bachelorette weekend. They gathered together like a coalition of super friends, backing our mission for inclusion and fun, settling the expenses for her food, drink, travel, and accommodation differences. I was incredibly thankful for these amazing women, always stepping up and ready to embrace what matters most, the power of togetherness and friendship. However, while I cherished their willingness to support Samantha without a second thought, a little nagging feeling settled in my heart. I couldn't ignore the sense that Samantha seemed to be gliding through this whole thing without bearing any cost. It was tugging at the back of my mind, a slight discomfort overshadowed by my gratitude for my bridesmaids' kindness. I didn't want it to dampen my spirits, but there it sat, questioning if everything was being handled fairly. As plans for the Bachelorette weekend continued to unfold, I couldn't help but marvel at the dedication and the lengths my friends would go through for me. In my heart, I wrestled with making sure everyone, including Samantha, felt valued and appreciated, without taking advantage of our friends' generosity. Their eagerness to cover Samantha was heartwarming, demonstrating their unfaltering willingness to make this Bachelorette retreat a beautiful reality. This act of kindness showed me, yet again, that the people in my wedding party were not just participants in the ceremony, but cherished individuals truly invested in making my journey to marriage a wonderful one. It was a reminder of the unity and care they extended, the love and warmth binding all of us beyond just being there for a wedding. Even as I pondered this delicate balance, it comforted me to know that with these loving friends by my side, our collective strength and understanding would always prevail, keeping the focus on love and celebration. In the end, the Bachelorette weekend was more than just an escape. It was a reaffirmation of our friendships and the incredible people sharing this pivotal chapter of my life. Despite the financial hiccups married to group dynamics, our resolve to keep the love shining and togetherness intact would outshine any uncertainty or challenge. And that's exactly what mattered most, cherishing those who'd lift us up, holding hands through all of life's celebrations and trials. A few weeks ago, Samantha approached me with yet another request. This time, she asked if she could bring a man I had never met to the ceremony. She said she wanted him there to see her walk down the aisle. I was taken aback. While it was common for bridesmaids and groomsmen to have guests, our limited space meant not everyone could automatically have a +1. I wanted to accommodate her, but I was also trying to keep a tight handle on the guest list. Every single person invited to the ceremony added to our costs for food and drink, each spot at a premium. So I hesitated, curious about this mystery guest she wanted to invite. When I inquired more about him, Samantha was vague. What troubled me most was hearing through mutual friends that this man wasn't a serious part of her life. Apparently, he was seeing several other women as well, and Samantha's interest in him seemed unreciprocated. Yet, my concern wasn't about judging her choice of friends or relationships, but about honoring the importance of the day and the need to prioritize those closest to us. Still, trying to be accommodating, I reluctantly agreed that he could attend the ceremony and the evening reception. However, there wouldn't be a spot for him at the sit-down meal, as we were already over our numbers, something we seemed to negotiate and agree upon at the time. Just when I thought everything was sorted, I learned that Samantha had plans for her guest to mingle and stay longer after the ceremony. This was when my patience started to wear thin. By this stage in the planning, everything connected to the meal and subsequent events had been calculated, with food and drinks strictly for those officially invited. I approached Samantha and expressed my concerns, reminding her of our agreement. Instead of discussing it calmly, she became demanding, insisting she deserved to have a +1, questioning why she seemed singled out. I tried to explain that she wasn't the only one without a +1. Not all the groomsmen had one either, and none had raised an issue over it. Our conversation turned into an argument, her voice ringing with frustration and mine tinged with the sadness of having to enforce these boundaries. It became clear that no matter how much I explained, Samantha felt hurt and singled out, convinced this was some sort of affront to her. In the days that followed, the rift widened. Samantha made the difficult decision to step back, not just from her bridesmaid duties, but unfortunately from our friendship as well. Despite our 20-plus years as friends, the issue fractured our bond, leaving me questioning if I was really at fault. Was I the bad person for trying to keep things fair and within reason for my wedding, or had this been an inevitable conflict, rooted in different expectations and perhaps misunderstandings? It haunted me, even though I knew I hadn't intended to hurt her. I valued her friendship immensely, yet this situation left me puzzled and torn over whether I had done the right thing. Is it possible to maintain fairness and practical boundaries without damaging friendships, or was this simply a no-win situation? I pondered these thoughts late into the night, replaying our conversations in my head, questioning if I could have handled things differently. Could I have found some compromise that wouldn't sacrifice the integrity of the day I had envisioned? It felt like walking a tightrope where one misstep could unravel everything. Yet, knowing the limited space and budget, I had hoped Samantha would understand the bigger picture. Each decision wasn't just about her, but about creating a day where everyone could feel included while staying true to my vision. In my heart, I questioned if maybe this was also about more than dresses or +1s. Was Samantha feeling undervalued or overlooked in our friendship long before this? Had there been signs I missed amidst the flurry of wedding preparations? The weight of these thoughts was almost as heavy as the loss of her companionship. As the wedding approached, I focused on the joy of the upcoming celebration, surrounded by those who could be there and the happiness of the life I was about to start. Still, I couldn't shake the pang of loss from Samantha's absence, a reminder of the unpredictable twists relationships can take. Now, I'm left to reflect on what friendship means against life's biggest milestones. It's a tough lesson, but I hope someday we might find our way back to the friendship we've shared for so long. Until then, the question lingers. Am I the bad person for holding firm on my wedding day choices, or was this truly a no-win situation? It's a bittersweet narrative of friendship lost amidst the chaos of planning one of the happiest days of my life.